In this part of the interview, I also mentioned that I think that neurodiverse needs can impact the increase in mental health. And I believe that is down to what we just spoke about, the approaches, the responses, the way you're treated as a neurodivergent person. It can become frustrating because you feel misunderstood. And when you feel misunderstood, then you start to think, is there something wrong with me? What is it that I'm doing wrong? What does that then impact? An identity issue, an issue about the way that you see yourself, the way that you perceive yourself, which then can impact your mind, your confidence, your self-esteem. So it's really important that we're supporting young children and young people who present as different and feel misunderstood. And the thing is, a child at 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 is probably not going to be able to communicate to you that they feel misunderstood. But a child who becomes 25 is able to acknowledge that at 4 or 5, at 6, I was misunderstood. So Cian is saying at 25 years old now, I felt misunderstood when I was that age. So now he can speak up for himself and understand and recognize what was missing. So if we know that children at 4, 5, 6 or 7 or 8 are not able to say specifically that they feel misunderstood, what is it that we need to be doing? Or what is it as educational professionals, what is it that they should be doing? Or the support workers or the learning support workers, what is it that they should be doing to help the child feel understood? Another thing I want to speak on within the interview, Cian talks about being ambidextrous. That's the first time I've ever heard that term, so it was very new to me. And he mentioned having to be put on a different table at the age of 4, away from his peers, and was told that he had to sit there until he learned how to eat properly. So ambidextrous, I learned, is being right or left-handed. You use your both hands for different things. So he mentioned that it can come across that he may look silly when he's eating. So he was separated from his peers. Now, at that time, nobody knew that he was ambidextrous. He said he only found that out a few years ago. Now, it's funny because in my journey of working with young people, when they're referred to me, I never know everything about them, and neither does the professionals that work around them. So I feel like it's our job to learn them when we're on that journey with them. It's important to get to know them and understand them. So therefore, the approach is not going to be from a place of judgment. It's not going to be from a place of feeling like I know everything. It's not going to be from a place of having a strict agenda in terms of how I'm going to support this young person. I'm going to listen. I'm going to observe. I'm going to be curious. I'm going to ask questions so that I can better understand that young person, so that I know what it is that they need. Now, the first thing that came to my mind when he said that, which I mentioned, was about being sensitive, being mindful in the way that we approach situations, because we don't know how damaging our decisions can be for young people. You know, making that decision to separate him from his peers at 4 or 5 years old, what did that do to his self-esteem? How did that impact his decision making? How did that impact his behavior going forward? Was it a contributing factor to him being in the justice system? Now you might think, oh, this little thing, how can that contribute? But it adds up. All these things, these little things add up, and it's important that we pay attention to the detail, because it is these things that can be drivers. They can be drivers to push young people further and further away, further and further to the margins of society, further into lives of crime, further into negative decision making, further into feeling that they're not worthy, further into feeling like they don't fit. So it's really important that we find ways to pull them back in, to keep them close. And it starts with the decisions we make in schools, at home, from the ages of 3, 4 and 5, maybe even earlier than that. It's so important that we're mindful of our language. our approach, our body language, our mindsets. All of those things are super, super important.